All right, welcome to the stock market update. Yay! I'm back from New York, and I'll tell you in a moment what happened last week. And we're also going to talk about what's happening in the markets today. And today is Monday, March 21st. And last week, stocks had their best week since 2020. But can they hold on to their gains? And then, of course, there's still the Russia-Ukraine war. So we got to talk about this. Plus, today, we will review our current trades and show you how they are doing. But before we get started, if this is your first time here, hi, I'm Marcus Hartkotter. This is my head coach, Mark Hodge, and together we have more than 47 years of trading experience. And every morning we sift through a mountain of news websites, newsletters, and reports, and then we take the most important news and go live right here to share with you what you need to know as you head into your trading day. Now, if this is your first time here, I know it can be a little bit overwhelming, but don't worry, we have a special video just for you that I will link to in the description, and that's a great place to get started. So, Mark, I'm back from New York.
Yeah, great to have you back in the usual
Yeah,
office.
the usual setting. It was really great. I mean, as you know, we spent 9 days in New York with my daughter Vivian to visit some colleges because the goal was to find out what the best college is for her. You see, she's now a freshman in high school, so she has to start applying for colleges in the fall. Did you know that there are almost 4,000 colleges in the US? It's kind of crazy. It's really 3,982. And so over the past few months, we already narrowed down the list to 8 colleges. And so this New York trip last week was only the first of 3 trips that we'll take. So the next stop is Dartmouth College. And after this, I'm coming to your neck of the woods. We're looking at 3 colleges in the Bay Area: Santa Clara, Berkeley. I mean, your daughter Sydney went to Berkeley, right?
Yeah,
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 and then
great
also
school.
San Francisco University. So we'll look at
Nice.
those. Yeah, and you see,
Fun.
we were in New York for 9 days since we really want to experience the city and how it would be there when you live there. And gosh, New York is crazy. I'll tell you more stories in the next few days. Anyhow, so before visiting the colleges, we had a checklist of things that were important for Vivian, our own personal list. And when we toured the colleges, we asked specifically about these things. For example, how big is the class size? How many professors are in the faculty? What's the student to professor ratio? How does the college help with internships and all this kind of stuff? And so now we have an initial list. And number one right now for Vivian is Pratt. Then Marymount Manhattan is in 2. Number 3 is New York University, and currently in 4th place is Pace. And you see, this list might be different for another student, but this is the perfect list for Vivian. And you see, Mark, it really reminded me of trading, because if you think about it, there's no best trading system. There's only a
Sure.
best trading system for you based on your criteria. And I mean, every trader has different criteria. So for us, the best trading strategies are the Power X strategy and the wheel strategy. And we'll talk about our current trades a little bit later here in the show. Does that sound like a plan?
I like it.
No. Lots of
I like
stuff
it.
going on. So, but let's first talk about what's happening in the markets here right now. So let's jump over. Stocks had their best week last week. Let's talk about this for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a really an amazing week, Marcus. The S&P finished higher by 6.2%. The Nasdaq was up 8.2%, finishing at highs of the week on Friday. Dow was up 5.5%, the biggest gains or the best weekly gains since November of 2020.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also interesting. I wanted to bring up here a Fibonacci retracement tool, because if you look at the S&P and if you look at the closing prices here, look at this. We almost bounced back 50%. It doesn't look like this when you just look at the chart. This is why I wanted to break out the tool here. But I mean, from all this that was lost over the past few weeks since the beginning of the year, this is a bounce back of 50%. That's not bad at all, right?
Not at all, not at all. We've always said that these, pullbacks and even a correction is healthy for a market that's been up so much, and that's what we've seen over since the COVID drop. I think what's driving this might be unfortunate and a problem or concern, but I think that this type of move is healthy for the market to shake it up.
Right, and we know the markets are our traders are focusing on a few things. I mean, Of course, there's the Russia-Ukraine war. And I mean, this has now been going on for almost a month. It started on February 24th, and it seems to get really ugly there. I mean, right now, the Russians claim to have taken control of the city Mariupol, and they ask the Ukrainians to surrender. And they said, "No, we're not going to surrender." Right? So we'll see. I mean, there's even rumors that Russians are, or that Putin actually shouldn't say Russian. It's really Putin who's taking it to the next level with supersonic missiles. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, these hypersonic
Or
weapons.
hypersonic? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even Ukraine's president Zelensky, he warned that if peace talks with Vladimir Putin fails, it would mean the start of a third global war. And Marcus, it's interesting because we're essentially there from a social media and a company perspective, right? Like we're seeing, at least in my lifetime, something that we've never seen before, where it really is a global effort from citizens to companies trying to really fight a country and stop a country from doing what they're doing. And we've never seen that, at least in my lifetime. I
Yeah. No.
wasn't
I mean, I agree. So there's still this uncertainty, but then there is some more certainty when it comes to the Fed, right? Because the Fed had the meeting last week, and this were okay. What are they going to do, and what are they going to commit to this year? And so last week they came out, they raised interest rates by a quarter point, and they said, okay, our plan is to raise interest rates 6 more times for a total of 7 times this year. And that's kind of what the markets expected, right? So there were no surprises.
exactly. And when it comes to U.S. markets, the impact of the Russia situation on crude oil will affect the U.S. markets. But the big focus right now is the Fed and inflation, and so that's what's driving the markets. And last week, I think that the Fed did its job to make market participants, traders, comfortable. At least for now, and that's why the markets, finished higher so nicely last week.
Yeah. Also, if you look at the economic calendar for this week, not a whole lot going on. I mean, Powell is speaking twice, but I mean, he will not say anything different that he communicated last week. So he's speaking this morning. I think it is on the National Association for Business Economics conference. So I mean, he's probably reiterating what he said last week, and then on Wednesday he's speaking again. I mean, other than this, if you look at the economic calendar, it's super light.
It is real quiet, real quiet. And you're right, Marcus. I mean, at this point, sure, the market might react to something that Powell says, just because we're now glued on what he's going to say and what's going to happen. But I agree. I mean, last week was the opportunity to really lay the foundation there for what the Fed's going to do and what they plan to do.
Yeah. Now there's one wild card, and this is the coronavirus virus, right? I mean, so we had this outbreak in China, and China closed down the Shenzhen area, and now it seems that there's again a new variant popping up in Europe. And so I saw this morning that Fauci says, well, coronavirus cases might tick up again, but it almost seems that we learn to live with that situation, right?
Agreed. And in Fauci's case, he said that there could be a rise with the uptick in cases in Europe, driven by an Omicron subvariant, but that Fauci doesn't think that will amount to a surge. So, and hospitalizations and deaths are still falling across the country, which is
Yeah.
definitely a good thing.
So, I mean, in a moment, we'll take a look at our existing trades, but I mean, there's definitely one stock that makes headlines this morning. It's a stock that we have been trading several times. It's Boeing again.
Yeah.
A Boeing 337 jet crashed in China with 132 people on board. I mean, at this point, it's unknown how many survived. And Boeing, let's just take a look at this in pre market trading. I mean, earlier they lost as much as 8%. I mean, now pairing it almost they're down still 4.8%. But yeah, this is where the question is: okay, whose fault is it? I mean, is this a pilot error, or is this really Boeing because they had trouble with their planes over the past few years, especially the 737 Max. This wasn't a Max plane,
Exactly.
but who knows, right? This is where everybody says, okay, ugh, what's happening? Is Boeing involved again? So anyhow, okay, let's take a look at the trades that we have going on. So switching over here to PowerX Optimizer, that's the software that we use to find the trades. So one of the trades that I have, you're not in this trade, is ArcF. And so ArcF, I was flying a rescue mission, sold puts at 28, and now the new cost basis is $40.41. So ArcF had a pretty good move up over the past few days. So now trading at around $29. So we'll see what happens there. So not much to do there right now. The other trade that we are both in is LVS. And LVS, I mean, kind of crazy. If you're looking at it, what happened here? I mean, it came from these highs around 68, went all the way down to the 30s, then came back to 48. Then last week, because of the situation in China and the rising Omicron variant. Is it Omicron there? I believe it is, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, this is where it plummeted down, but then a really super sharp rebound right now trading at around, 39? So we might be able to sell calls sometime this week.
That'd be nice. Yeah. This has been a wild one for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, we made some really good premium there. Then, of course, right. So not a whole lot going on, nothing to do there for now. Also, Ride had a pretty good last week. I mean, I think last week moved up to almost $3. Well, still way below.
Up 30%, Marcus. 30%.
It's a 30%. Well, if you're trading down there, it doesn't really matter. But let's talk about some of the newer trades that we took. So one of them is ADI.
Yeah.
So let me just do this. So ADI, this is where we started trading this on January 18th, where we sold the 162.50 puts at that point. Let me just zoom out. And then we have been selling puts, selling calls, selling puts, selling calls, selling puts, selling calls. And so right now we sold the 162.50 calls that are expiring this Friday. So it really depends. If ADI stays below 162.50, well, then we can sell more calls. If it goes above, we'll get called away, or we might roll this, right? Let's see what we do here.
Yeah. This has been a nice one.
I calculated up. I mean, since January 18th, so over the last 2 months, collected $8,965 in premium. Plus, I got a dividend payment here. So this was an unexpected bonus.
Yeah.
So what do you think about ADI? I mean, this just beautifully trading right around our strike price. That's exactly what we want to see for a wheel trade, right?
Exactly. I mean, this stock in general, just how it's behaved over the last, well, really year. Great for the wheel, nice ranges. Even if it drops, it tends to stay in these ranges. So we like to avoid these crazy stocks that are just all over the place. That could fall 50%. This one has been real steady, and it could get called away this week. We'll see, or maybe a roll.
We'll see. BAC, this was another fun one to trade. So we got called away. So let's talk about this. We entered this on end of February. So this has just been like 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks here. So yeah, we sold the 41 calls. I mean, at first we sold the puts, got assigned, then sold the calls. And since it was trading above 41 last week, we got called away. So the premium here after commissions, $2,913 for me. And we're okay having this getting called away, right?
Yeah, this one has been a fun one at the beginning. We got a sign and it pulled back a little bit, and then it just did exactly what we expected, staying in this range, getting called away. We could take another look at it, maybe get in at a better price.
Yeah, let's see. All right, IWM. That's one. Did you trade it or was it just me?
No, I didn't trade this one.
Yeah, so this was also January 18th. Sold the 205 puts at first, got assigned, and then it was perfect. We could sell calls against it every week. We could roll it. And so I collected $7,772 in premium. And this also got called away on Friday because we were trading above the $205. And I decided to let it get called away, and I'm okay. For example, this week, see if we can maybe sell more in this range, $190 probably. I think that would be good.
That makes sense.
All right. UAL. And this is also one that we just entered. And this has been doing really, really well. Let's see. There's the premium. I mean, we collected thus far in only these 3 weeks almost $8,000 in premium. And right now we sold 39 calls expiring on Friday. So we'll see if we are trading above 39 by Friday, then we will get called away, keep all of the premium. And this has been fun.
Marcus, I think I think I did the 40 strike, but either
Oh, I
way,
need to
it's
double
been
check.
great.
Okay, I might have done this. Okay, I'll check and then correct it. But let's also talk about
39,
TPR.
40.
Yeah, TPR Tapestry, another one, really good one. Also, that's a pretty new one. I entered it on March 1st, actually. So this has also just been a few weeks and collected $4,979 in premium here thus far. So we'll see what
That's
happens
a
here.
nice
I
one.
sold the 37 calls expiring this Friday. So this means that we actually have two slots open. So can't wait to run the scanner this morning, especially with the new enhancements that we have here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It looks like futures are slightly lower. Yeah, I would say flat, but I think that's setting up for some decent opportunities for the wheel.
Yeah, it could be. So I'm just switching here to a 5 minute chart in the Nasdaq, and we see still nervous. I mean, markets
Yep,
are, and they will remain nervous as long as this war is going on. And so yeah, as you said, Nasdaq down 0.3%. Even the S&P pointing really to a flat opening here, just around the unchanged mark. And then we have the Dow that is also slightly down, but yeah, with these wild swings, it almost looks like yeah, we're just heading into a flat opening. I mean, I wouldn't mind a down day today so that we can load
sure.
up and sell a few more puts here.
Agreed.
Anyhow, and if you would like to know how exactly we do this, if you would like to know more about the wheel strategy or the Power X strategy that we are trading, take a look at these videos that we'll link to right here. And hey, if you enjoyed this morning, tune in again tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Have a great day.
Happy trading, everybody.